30% said that they
The shared goals help the team members to understand their unique value, roles, and purposes in the team. For this test card, we also introduced another thing that we discovered for ourselves, which is anti-test cards, a non-existent thing, but now it exists. We developed it for some time. It's basically trying to not approve a hypothesis, but disapprove it. Soon we understood that it doesn't work, and also the sheets didn't work. It wasn't comfortable, so we moved everything to Canva, and then started the second phase of test cards. It was still into those 5 stages, but now we could work with it much easier. And we started to dive into the hypotheses and dive deeper and go into small details. Then we ended up with this question, what even is a team? And at this moment, we understood that we are kind of drowning and we need to take a step back and understand what are we even searching for. So we called Aris, had a talk with him. gathered our thoughts and understood that we need to lose that structure because it's keeping us in a cage. And then started the third test card phase. We understood what we even wanted to, what information we even needed to gather. It was what obstacles do teams face in achieving good results, and what problems should even CrewConnect solve. We took the same hypotheses, adjusted them a little bit, but now we lost the structure and they were not connected anymore. They were in a linear line. And the things that we wanted to understand was, does these elements in the hypotheses lead to better performance for the teams? We interviewed the second course, the third course, the Angels, and also Estonian teams. Their interviews are gathered in teams because we look at the team results, and wanted to understand if we can approve or disapprove our hypotheses that we created. One of them was that teams with set goals have better performance than teams without set goals. And we were rating it, the performance from 1 to 10, and goals either the team has or doesn't have. And you already saw that this hypothesis was not approved because all the teams that we interviewed had goals, but they had different performances. So the data didn't lead anywhere. The next three hypotheses that are teams with good dynamics, teams with trust, and teams with roles and tasks divided into team lead to better performance. We were also rating them similarly from 1 to 10. All of these we wanted to understand if they are approved or failed, but there was not really an answer for that because we didn't have enough data to say a concrete answer. This is how it looked. Each team's data, there is not really a correlation between any of these data, so we understood that we cannot say either it's failed or it's approved. So we moved on. We had an idea that we gathered from doing all of these hypotheses, that not all people can do all tasks, and not all people can have the same roles. And also we looked at the last year's data, and we found this part that people who don't work well in teams had these problems. There were no divided roles. They had bad personality mix. Some skills were clashing. There was no clear leader. So we understood that we need to look at diverse teams and how diverse teams lead to best performance. Diverse teams for us consists of diverse skill sets as well as characteristics. And then started the fourth phase of test cards.
Fourth and maybe the last phase. Well, you don't know. You don't know. Okay, so as we already established, diverse teams, skills, characters. And to find that out, we used two different tests, one of which was a 3H test and BOSSI test. Let's start with the hypotheses. And basically, our hypothesis was to predict teams' performance, we have to look at their skills and character results. And this is the first BOSSI test. And BOSSI consists of a builder, opportunist, specialist, and an innovator. But what does it mean? Well, of course, B and S, they are rational thinkers. They like their structure. O and I, they are spontaneous. They do not like the structure. B and O, they answer for the quantitative growth. They will be the people who look at the whole picture. And S and I will look at the small details because they know that they matter. And we asked our, of course, beloved teams to fill them out and send us their results. But that is not enough because the BOSSI test looks at more of your entrepreneurial spirit, how you work as an entrepreneur when you are the leader of a company. But we needed also something which we can incorporate into the teams. So we took the Hacker, Hustler, Hipster test. So what is Hacker, Hustler, Hipster? Of course, hustler, the person who sells the product. We could say that it is something that combines the B and the O from the previous BOSSI test. Hacker builds the product. They will always answer your how. And the hipster who will pimp the product up and make it cool and design it. So, but look at some examples. We're gonna use one example of Team 8. So this is their 3H test. As you can see, they are pretty similar in all of their fields. And basically, they're very similar and they don't really have any of those breakout stars. But if we look at their bossy test, if the maximum value you can see is here, and in all of these fields, they are quite low and they are seriously missing some opportunists. And their performance, which they subjectively rated, was 6. So we have seen Team 8's data. What is the recipe for a great team? We found out this was a great example because there are people who can cover different sides of topics and teach others to create this well-rounded result. So what does it mean? Similar by 3H, similar by bossy, mid-performance. And figuring out all of this data, which we were working on, we can tell you that our hypothesis is approved.
Now, what did we make out of these data? We introduce our target customer, of course, which is event and workshop and hackathon organizers. And our closest ones would be Junior Achievement and TechChill, where we could test our first ideas. And if we want to move and scale globally, we would talk with Junction and Garage 48. And we could find new ones on platforms where they announce these events, and reach them on LinkedIn or Instagram and Facebook, where they also post these event ads and see new organizers. Our target customer they of course love smooth running events. They want this good performance. They want the participants to be happy and feel comfortable in the team they're working on. And the teammate who will be divided into teams. It's a student, preferably in Northern Europe, who loves to collaborate and finds interesting to create innovative ideas, but they have a limited time. They can't really have like big arguments within the team, and they also want to network within the events they're in. And here's our landing page to gather the first contacts for our target customers and ask them more questions to find what they really need. In summary, we approved one hypothesis, the last one, about the characters and skills. We disapproved one, and the 3 ones, well, we have to still gather some data and case studies for it. Our KPIs, we did 9 more interviews than we expected to do. Then we don't have 3 hot client leads. We have one approved hypothesis, but we don't have the sales call yet. In 2024, we developed this problem that skill sets and characteristics by organizers, they're not mixed appropriately. So the performance are quite mid, as Christiana would say. So we're looking for that mid section, how to make the team a unicorn, because we want those unicorns, right? So it's CrewConnect. We're crafting diverse teams that can lead to success. So what did we learn in this project? As you already heard, that don't love your product. In our case, it was don't love the systems, love your audience, and really interview people early. Don't sit in that co-working. Go out, talk to them, because you will have some more information and clear mind about it. Also, evaluate more elements. It's not just one problem that teams have. They have lots of problems in them, but have to find some kind of focus on how to make the best recipe with the teams and their characteristics, and just experiment. I mean, that's the course. Our next steps to do more case studies. That's where our landing page could help with gathering the contacts and talking more, developing an MVP, even a typeform test to test at TSC Hackathon and also TechChill Students Challenge coming up within 2 months, and to see whether our recipe really works. My reflection is, as I said, to get out that co-working, start talking, see what teams have to say.
My reflection is that always understand where are you heading towards, to not have all this data and that you don't understand what to do and not get lost in all of this. And Christiana?
And my reflection is that this is overall a very long, difficult process, which you can't really just skim through in 3 or 4 weeks. So basically, keep developing and keep experimenting. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, girls, for the very interesting presentation, and it was really insightful as well. I think the first question goes out the same as for the previous team. What were the main conclusions comparing to the year before project?
Well, last year.
What did you do differently?
Yeah, last year we focused on the process, like how do they feel when the teams are just mixing in random ways, just like counting on 1 to 3. But this year we really were looking for the recipe, like what makes a great team, because we know that the process isn't very nice and comfortable. So we were looking how to not just like how to make the teams good, because we care about the performance and results. So we were talking more to the participants, not the organizers, as last year.
Yes, so basically I would say to sum it all up, we changed our main focus to getting diverse teams to, to actually getting the results. That I think was the main switch. Yes.
Yeah. And next question regarding the ideal customer. You somehow sort of skipped it very fast through it. How did you get to that ideal customer? Because there was a picture of 20-year students. Is the only thing
That's the user.
Sorry?
That's the user, because we have, like the customers are going, the customers one thing is the organizers, but users are going to be the students.
Okay, thank you. And what was the reason that you didn't have any hot leads or the sales call?
As I said, we were focusing on the team members, on how to make the recipe. But as I said, we have Tech Chill and Junior Achievement, where we will organize these events, so we will test them out. We will not sell them, but we will test whether the recipe works, so we have some proof. Hey guys, look, what results can we achieve?
Why not selling?
I mean, we can sell.
Yeah, we're spending all the money and we're afraid. Girls, I really think that you are onto something in this project with this product that you have, and I really hope that you will do all what it takes to develop it further over the courses. Because last year the idea was really raw, and you already saw that it can do something. It is a necessity for organizations which are organizing some sort of events. And this was the idea of what got you to that hackathon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now you have, I really love that at the very beginning of the presentation you said that you need to take one step back in order to go further 3 steps. Because that is what you have actually done over the course.
Exactly. And one thing is that maybe also the explanation of why we don't have the sales calls yet, because we really care about this idea and we really want to develop it actually. So we want to understand like a lot about it and not just go blindly forward. So we just want to set those ground, the pamati really well.
Sale gives you pressure, and that's when you're really good.
Also, that's one insight that we got. We just need to also go and experiment and sell and do from Christian. And we will do that.
Also, really insightful, great presentation, enjoyed it. All the humor and design and delving into that. I have 2 questions. One is, you probably by this time also did your own testing, your own team, and how would you see if you are diverse enough to be a high-performing team? And the second question regarding is similar to the first one. Have you already envisioned how this could become like something that you could scale as a business, like as an export as well?
I mean, it's easy to scale.
It's easy to scale. We're startup students. I can answer the first question about our team. Well, we did do the Bossy test on ourselves. We did do the 3H test. And our characters are quite different. We do complement each other. And when we look back, we can really see how those Bossy test results really show up when we work together. But regarding the 3H, we still don't have really the hacker, the person who can actually like develop something. And that is one major flaw that we have. But that is about our team and about the product as a business. We have thought about it. We have already thought about some kind of clients. users, clients, and where, how, why, we still haven't thought. Maybe
It's a platform. It's like anybody can use it anytime. So it's not like an event where we have to book something. So it's very scalable in that case.
Yeah.
One more question, I guess.
Yeah.
So after you did all of the research, you probably understood more about the problem in depth. As you said, the hypothesis was disproved, right? So it was something different than initially anticipated. How did your solution change when you understood more about the problem?
Well, last year we didn't really care about how the teams will mix up. As long as it's like fun. It's like there's a platform where you, like for example, you as a moderator, you wouldn't have to shout, stay in a line and now let's count 1 to 3. So that would all happen digitally in a platform. And this year we really focused on the team. Like in this case, like last year we were focused on just like the same approach as you would do as a human, but just digitally. But this year we focused on how to actually make the team good. Great, I would say.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for presentation. I love that there was a really great insight that some hypotheses you couldn't prove or disprove. I think that was really great. And I missed the bit of you telling about the product because I was getting lost. What is the specific product that you came up at the end of all of this?
Well, that's the thing. We have the idea of the product that it's a platform that not randomizes, but randomizes the team based on these characteristics and skill sets. We were focusing more as well. Our research question for this was, or the problem that we wanted to solve, is to understand what problem CrewConnect solves. We were focusing more on that in this project. We weren't jumping in too much into the what is the product, what are the specific things that features and all that.
Why and how?
Yeah, we were focusing on the lower stage.
yes, and that's time.
Super quick comment, just so I don't forget, in the previous team as well, your one KPI was one approved hypothesis. I don't think that an approved hypothesis should be a KPI. It's not a key performance indicator because maybe you have 5 disproven hypotheses that help you much more to understand the problem than one proven hypothesis. Just a quick comment.
That
On
was a
my
good one.
check.
Thank
Can
you.
you please go to the last slide, which was my new motto of this year? I will take a picture of it. Yes. Yeah, you girls are also gonna like.
I will go to
But
that.
I need to see
It's
that.
swaggy.
You don't need us in the picture.
Lisa, where are you hiding?
You don't need us.
We don't need us.
Yay!
Thank you.
Who's next? You're next?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your solo? Yes. Wow.
Brave one.
Wow.
You can have
Show me the pen.
Delving alone.
How many minutes?
Rochi.
5?
Five.
Okay, it's time for cappuccino.